strange look of moon rapid delay a small village that was fertile in peaceful. There lived a young man named Katarum with his elder mother, Nyaitaru. Since childhood, Chakatarum had grown up without a father figure. His father had died long ago when he was still in his mother's arms. Despite living in Felicity, Jakataru grew into a handsome, friendly, and noble young man. Every day, Jakataru helped his mother work in the village, water from the well, and take care of her livestock. He was to be the village as a diligent young boy likely to have a however, behind he always careful face there was a hidden loneliness. He was of variable age, yet no grill in the village had truly captured his heart. Nyaitaru often teased him, "Son, how long will you remain alone? Look, your friends have started their own families. You must belong in for a week too. Aren't you?" Jaka only smiled. "It's not time yet, mother. I still want to take care of you. My heart is happy that you are devastated. But don't forget that you deserve happiness too." Jakataru only nodded slightly the night. Under the moonlight, he sat beside his heart, deep in thought. The night wind carried the skein of ravening rage. In his heart he felt good. If there is a greater destiny for me, show me the way. The next day, Jakataru decided to go further than usual. He wanted to hunt in the deep forest beyond the hill. His mother had tried to forbid him, as the forest was known to be haunted, but Jaka insisted. "Don't worry, mother. I just want some fresh air," he said, while carrying a spear and a bag of provisions. Nyaitaru looked at her son with a worried gaze. "Be careful, son. Don't be reckless. In the forest, sometimes what looks beautiful can bring disaster." Jaka smiled and kissed his mother's hand, then walked away, unaware that they would change his life forever. Jakataru walked through the forest with steady step. The wind blew gently, swaying the bamboo shoots and stick leaves that danced with the morning sunlight. The creeping of birds heard, creating the natural harmony that soothed the soul. The farther he walked, the stranger the surrounding became. Towering trees, roads sprawling, snakes ending, bushes grow that. He continues until he found a good view the dress leading to an open pasture. He stops to then he asked within and swam. Ahead, take her head up before him, its water clear, reflect the blue sky and the thin white clouds, and Glen, the light looked like an flames from another world too beautiful to be part of an ordinary for Jakarta. Until the light glowed and the water and was hand he faced as to enjoy the refreshing weather. So then he heard soft long hair from the dress on the other side of the pike. High Quaggy hid behind a bus at weekend. From a distance he saw seven a extraordinary beautiful woman walking toward the light. Turn her forward like she turned for this were were gravel foot and turf
face glowed like the moon. Then Laker colorfully spoke, spoke solely on her, and the remover the curtain and colorful swag before entering the water. Jakataru was student. He was sure they were not ordinary human. Ordinary woman and girl, he was fair, spotty. His turn, we hope, became the second woman born into water, swimming with grave and elegant, moves. The water, cement, and breathe, and the sunlight meant the light spark like crystal. Not far from here, distant like seven white light on a rock. Jakataru, flash, he 14, his hand no, he so hold it watching, but curiously and admiration had him stay in the had him in the help session, and soon then in their camp the he meet in their the work climb his dating quitting friends he the work when the sun will plan after making sure not on sway him he looked on sway and him the trick but when has returned to his reading place, he helped his friend time passed after finishing turn bed and play the angle return to the light aside and forever to go back what to heaven on by one. Turn foot on the sky and flies into the sky the button of the lacking conflict. My wife in gone he cran in funny. His grand heart around to like the lifeless and Kelly cut to her sister, but time him and rail from his session though by the light cry not crowning why to do.
From behind the bush, Jakatarup watched her. His heart filled with guilt and compassion, but he also felt something he had never felt before, love at first sight. After a moment, Jakatarup finally dared to come out of his hiding place. He slowly walked toward the angel, who was still sitting at the edge of the lake. She flinched in surprise when she saw him. "Who are you?" she asked, her eyes full of suspicion and fears. I am villager, Jakatarup replied gently. "I saw you crying and wanted to help." The angel wiped her tears. "My shawl is missing. Without it, I can't return to the heaven." Jaka lowered his head, pretending not to know. Maybe it was blown away by the wind or fell into the lake. The woman shook her head slowly. "Impossible! The shawl is my part of my being. Without it, I am cut from the sky." Jaka looked into her eyes. "If so, you can stay with me in the village. I can protect you." The angel looked at him for a long time, as if trying to read the intent behind his eyes, but seeing the intensity and gentleness in his voice, her heart began to soften. "I don't know where else to go," she whispered. "My name is Nawang Wulan." Jakatarup smiled. "My name is Jakatarup. Come with me. My mother will be happy to welcome you." Jakatarup brought Nawangwulan back to his village. When Nyai Tarup saw the beautiful woman who came
with her son, she was surprised. Who is this son? She got lost in the forest. Doesn't know the way home. Jaka replied briefly. Nyai Tarub observed Nawang Wulan from head to toe. There was something different about her, as if she didn't belong to this world, but she asked no further. They passed. Nawang Wulan stayed at Jaka Tarub's house with his mother. She quickly adapted to human life, was skilled at cooking, weaving, and was very diligent. She brought great change to the household. Nyai Tarub softened and she accepted her as her own daughter. A few weeks later, Jaka Tarub expressed his feeling. Nawang Wulan, will you marry me?
Nawang Wulan was silent. Her heart had already melted from the kindness of Jaka and his mother, even though she still felt the loss of her house. She realized that her destiny no less on earth. I gave, she replied. Their wedding was simple, but full of joy. The villagers celebrated no one knew that the bride was an angel. The faith in the human world, the marriage of Jaka Tarub and Nawang Wulan brought great happiness. Not long after their wedding, Nawang Wulan became pregnant and gave birth to a beautiful baby girl whom they named Nawang Asri. The chills brought new joy into their, but there was one thing that puzzled Jaka Tarub. His without voice of choking was very strong. They only looked a single grain of rice from the granaries as they, but it was enough to feed the whole family in never-ending odds. Even the granary remained full as before. Why only on grains of rice Jaka asked on nights? That is a gift from the heaven, but never try to see how ice choke Nawang Wulan replied from Jaka nodded, but the curiosity kept having his means until on a day whilst Nawang Wulan was bathing. Jaka said setting Faded into the kitchen and saw his whips choking process was soaked. The grain of rice turned into golden steam and then became rice in place. From that moment on, the miracles vanished. Nawang Wulan chose no longer choke in her magical was the granary began to efface the now her secrets had been uncovered. Nawang Wulan was very sad. She felt betrayed by her husband. You broke your promise, she sighed with dry eyes. Zaka was remorseful. Forgive me, I just wanted to now. I did mean to hurt you, but the wound in Nawang Wulan's heart could not be healed by an overlooked allowance. She began to feel alien in the human world, her longing for the heavens grew deeper. A few days later, while cleaning the attic, Nemetsulan found something that made her fall silence her house. She held the clothes, the sky spelling the energy of the flow back into her body. Her tails plowed, she realized she could now return to her origin. Okay guys, thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum.
When Iqbal served cat in her to and with Leipzig and study Anchorman Blue about her. But then call on Densky was to song second Jakartaru and said, "In half of my soul you will return to the heavens." Jakartaru was slim and born howling with with words his heart spent. That that was the news eleven your great began. I love you Jaka, but you risky and with me and I'm not human. My word is not hers. Nawang Wulan ambulance her husband for then this team then kiss her lobster Penford as had split. Circuit sadly not now ngasih went into and smart and guilty grill. In real her mother's good Betty and very before Ben Jaka told her then story of well Angel. What this led for this key and will and fell in love with a woman. Henkel on his doctor deserved to content truth about her origin. And on that week with Star Son Bigly when I then with Belsertly and then instituted the zone of and guilty zone called Behar and Opposition. On can and base had never left his heart. Jakartaru smell and con that to look never healthy alapes. Before leaving, Hensai take care Nawang Asri with love and Smedi in further hours. He will come back to visit her. With this and swore in her and Nawang Wulan speed also on San Victory in the Ternixki and if welcoming her return shuffled into the air, wishing heavier and inspiring issue than more only. Jakartaru stood present in front of his house, looking endlessly will holding his daughter's still had. The days of the Nawang Wulan, the Padu Fat and Viti Jakartaru, then stay song office, doctor, baseball, father, dan motor and motor. Two Nawang Asri, the two her out for fine is the water and ready days start in Densky. The film again, but not you twice but Ojak Carnivore. Forget Nawang Wulan on Captain the Nick Hayes tell story in his where Her Ganji Kensing at Densky will accidentally while sent to return.